Happy Hour is brought to you by OpenTable. Hello, Happy Hour and PAX community. Welcome to episode 2 of Happy Hour. Today, we're reading the emails. Loren and I sat down with the enigmatic Hannah Green from Etta and Daphne. On the morning we recorded the show, Hannah turned up late and with huge energy, which is pretty much how she shows up to everything in life. It was really good to sit down and talk through some of the things happening to people across the hospitality industry right now. We covered a lot of ground. We heard from staff who are struggling with their managers, we heard from owners who are tussling with expansion, and we heard from a chef who is struggling to manage staff in the modern era. That one was a classic. It was all completely off the cuff, so strap yourselves in. This is Loren, Hannah, and I sitting at the Pinnacle on a Wednesday morning while the new internet cabling was being installed in the background. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let us know if you do. As always, we love to hear from you, so keep the emails coming in. hello@pax.melbourne. So, Hannah and Loren, welcome to Happy Hour.
Have we been on record the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually should note that, hang on, let me start a timer.
That's what I mean. You've got a mic on you.
Yeah.
Careful what
but
you say now.
Yeah, but it's only going to start from now.
Okay.
Or from when I said welcome to Happy Hour.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so hey, this is ordinarily we'd be starting this show by drinking some beer, okay? But it's 9 o'clock in the morning right now, or close to it, and we're sitting in a pub with a public view, so I don't think we should be drinking beer right now, even if you were up for it. So I don't want Michael to get back from England and we've lost our liquor license. I don't think that would go down too well. But I want to tell you about the beer that I have been pouring for people, just because I love them and I'm obsessed with them, and I don't even drink beer. These guys are awesome, right? So Malt Donkey is the beer that I've been pouring for everyone throughout the course of this series. I haven't even organised with them whether they even want to sponsor it. So there's no, I'm really in no way obligated to be talking about it. But you do have to try it, right? Because these guys categorically have built the best fucking malt on the planet. It's a sick concept, right? The guy who founded it is a really good human being, right? He's just a really good dude. And he sat there one day and was like, the way malt is being used in beer is just really fucking mid. And no one's thinking about it. No one's going, you think about it, it goes barley to malt to then flavor profile through hops and stuff, and then you drink it, right? And he's like, no one is actually going, hey, how do we adjust the variables in the malt? They're only doing it after that stage. And most people are buying pretty cheap malt, as a baseline and then building on it. He's like, why aren't we making malt better? And man, he just went and fixed it single-handedly. So he's got this whole plant, he's doing the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. I'll shut up now because you guys don't drink beer, but you just got to taste it at some point in the future. And at the moment, we'll just keep drinking peppermint tea out of pot glasses.
Sounds good. Cheers to that.
After your midnight going to bed last night after a little junket, that's probably a nice thing for you.
Yeah, not a bad way. Have you had some caffeine today though?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I made myself a coffee at home.
Good. Before you got blocked in by a crane.
Honestly.
It's probably one of the best sorry I'm running late texts I've received in a long time. Sorry I'm running late, I'm blocked into my house by a crane.
It's totally set up, so I had to wait for it. And all it was doing was delivering some colour bond.
Oh, they just rocked up. It wasn't
and it's
a plan.
parked across our neighbour's driveway as well.
Oh.
It wasn't a big crane, but
if there was a bit more Karen in you, you'd be on the blower to the council for that. They're going to get permits.
No, but they were doing it for her house.
I know.
Oh.
It's for my house.
Okay.
She's the instigator.
It currently has no roof.
So your scheduling is the problem.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, so what this concept of this episode is today is we're just going to read the emails, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some emails that people send through to us all the time.
Yeah.
I've tidied them up a little bit. Maybe I shouldn't have because I took out spelling mistakes and stuff like that just so it would read a bit cleaner. But I'm just going to read you guys some emails and get your opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all, right? I'm sure you're going to have stories that are relevant. You don't have to, hit me with academic breakdowns and formulas and shit. We'll save that for the other show.
I think that's your...
Yeah, that's kind of my...
Yeah, that's you, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just more share any thoughts you have and any stories that are relative to it. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just no different if you were sitting at the pub, which you currently are, but someone who is maybe more junior in hospital is asking you this question, what would you say? Cool?
Fair.
Sounds good.
All right, so the first one I'm going to start with is one of the... We get a lot of emails from business owners, like obviously, and I think the podcast is very much geared that way, but it's actually really cool when sometimes we get messages from people that aren't business owners, and I don't think we celebrate that enough, and I'm hoping that because the PAX podcast is so geared towards business owners, this won't be. This happy hour series is going to be much more just industry in general. So we're going to kick off with an email from someone who is not a business owner, working in a team. You ready to hear it?
Yeah.
And obviously taking out all the names and references to the restaurants. It's all anonymised for obvious reasons. Haven't quite figured out exactly how we're going to bleep it out, so I'll just have to figure that out later. All right, so here's the email. Hey team, long-time listener, first-time caller. I work front of house at a pretty well-known restaurant, so they've anonymised it for me. Been there just over a year now, and I actually really love the job. Problem is there's one senior team member. She's been there years. Everyone treats her word as gospel, and she makes the shift miserable for anyone she decides she doesn't like. Snide comments during service. I shouldn't laugh. Snide comments during service, taking credit for stuff, throwing people under the bus in front of management when service gets messy. It's like death by 1,000 cuts. Sounds shit. I've mentioned it to my manager in passing and just get a bit of a, yeah, she can be like that, in heavy quotes, shrug. Nothing changes. A few of the newer staff have already quit over it, and I get why. I don't want to be that person who complains, and I definitely don't want it getting back to her, but I'm getting to the point where I either need to say something properly or start looking elsewhere. And I really don't want to leave over someone else's bad attitude. How do you actually raise this without it blowing up in your face? I figured you'd have some good advice. Cheers. So just before we jump into this, I've responded to this person and said, hey, if you want to have a confidential chat, let me know and I'll call you.
Yeah.
We can talk through it. So we'll see if they get back to me. But in this context, I think, tell me what you got. I've also got a really boring answer for this. So do you want me to go first and get it out of the way? Or do you guys want to jump in?
You jump in.
I just reckon if that was happening in one of my venues, I 100% would want to know about that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, you probably would know about that person if you were I would like to think that I would know about that if you were having people leave already, because if there's a pattern emerging. But I think what they have said is actually really good. I don't want to be that person. I'm uncomfortable. And go to probably the leader, your manager that you trust the most, and actually just say exactly that. I don't want to be at the centre of this. I'm uncomfortable about it. I really like being here.
But you need to know.
People are leaving, and I'm at a point that if it's not resolved, I'm probably going to go elsewhere, because good staff are hard to find.
It's so hard because we've all worked with that person. It's they can be really good and really capable, and sometimes that means they get away with a bit of shit behaviour.
Totally.
But
being on the receiving end of it is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first read this, I was like, this is an amazing email.
Yeah.
I would hire this person in a heartbeat because it takes courage to be able to, most people, is what's happening here, they've noticed it and just quit.
Yeah.
Whereas this person's like, no, this should be fixed. And I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Your first point that you made is that, if this was happening in the business, you would, how could you not know?
Yeah.
But obviously management or ownership, we don't know whether it's a group or it's a founder thing. So
if it's big, if it's small, small, you'd feel it sooner. If it's bigger, there's a bit more room to hide.
I feel like this stuff happens in groups probably more so than in founder-led businesses.
Absolutely. When there's layers of management between the founder and that person.
Yep.
And when you're also open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner, that's a lot of, you cannot work with people all week. It can be a whole week before you see someone. So it can be...
And it can be hard to have moments where you're training or connecting with the crew if you're in this busy, high volume or 7 day a week venue.
Yeah.
To kind of catch some of that behaviour out.
So, but the idea, I'm with you on the, go to a leader that you can trust and get in front of them and call it out.
Yeah.
And like, you know, look, I've been in that situation before as the leader that people have come to.
Yeah.
And every time they do, you fucking honour it. Like you drop what you're doing and you honour it. But I always think to myself, it's an anomaly, right? For every person that's ever pulled me aside to like have a chat, there's like for every one of those, there's got to be close to 100 instances where no one did it.
Don't, yeah.
Yeah, and so I kind of like also, why I say that is because for the other 99 instances where no one did it, it's because it's really hard to do. Yeah. Like you're kind of questioning, you know, is this going to mean the end of my career here? Is this like what's going to, it could go. And also you're hoping that the person you say it to is a good leader who's going to take, but maybe then in that context, like you got nothing to lose because.
But I mean, if they're happy there in the first place, there has to be something good about, like, you know, I would say that if they've been there for a year, so they've been able to see the warts and all at this point in time, and if they're still happy after a year, like there has to be, like I would like to have the benefit of the doubt there because there's just one thing that they're unhappy about in the role and it's somebody, not the top tier.
Place.
Yeah, of what they're saying.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Loren? Anything?
I don't know. Like it could be a culture problem if well, they say in the email that they've brought it up with their manager and the manager's like, oh yeah,
shrugged it off.
You know, like that's just how they are. Like that's shit leadership.
Yeah.
So,
but that also says to me that they're not the final decision maker. Like they're, you know, there's someone that they could go over their head if they needed to. Yeah. Which is again really hard to do.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, and if the further you go up the chain, you get the same response, then that's not the place for you to work.
Yeah, for sure.
Get out of there.
Yeah. But it's worth having a crack at that before you bounce.
100%.
Totally.
I would like to think that they would do something about, like, you know, and just be on it, like exactly how they've just said it. Well, I think
it's the perfect communication.
Totally.
I think it's like you've really got nothing to lose here because it's like you put your best foot forward, go over the person's head and try and get this dealt with, and they embrace it, and it gets dealt with, and you will be really promotable really quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like forever in the eyes of leadership, they'll be like, you're a gun.
Yeah.
You know, or it doesn't go anywhere, in which case you need to take your talents elsewhere. Yeah. You know, it's like this is just not a good place for you to be. So I think it's pretty solid.
Well, and you never know what's going on behind the scenes of that person who's being a bit of a shithead. So maybe they've never been pulled up on their behaviour.
And they're unaware of it.
They're unaware of it. So, like, give everybody the chance to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's a learning opportunity.
It's like, oh, how awful that I'm making somebody feel this way.
There's the red flag for me was when they said they've been there years.
Yeah.
And it's like,
old dog, new trick.
Yeah. Well, it's just also this thing around like, in fact, funnily enough, I was talking about this with Chris Hamburger when he did a happy hour episode. Yeah. Because he's got this crazy thing in his kitchen where like the chef that's done the smallest tenure is like 6 years in. So we always like, that's so good, right? But man, he talked at length about what the actual trade-off for that is as well, because you're getting people that suddenly, you know, things can get complacent, things can get a bit stuck in a rhythm. It's a really different vehicle to be driving. So Jeremy, my take on this which is the really boring take, is that this whole story here is what happens when you don't invest. You're both just looking at me with like really cynical smiles. It's making me hard to deliver this.
Smile.
Okay,
I'm waiting for like you to reference a book. Have you like what's that?
No.
Like,
and we're gonna be like,
have you heard of what are you managing up?
Yeah.
This is a managing up situation.
Okay, I was going to quote a few books. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just not going to go there.
What's the team on your ways?
No, it's simple, right? This is what happens when you don't invest in HR engagement software.
Yeah.
Because that just fixes everything, right? Like to me, the thing that's happening here is this person doesn't have an anonymous way of communicating with leadership. And that's what those platforms do. Like whether it's Office Vibe or Culture Amp if you're big enough, or I would even accept using the Employment Hero one if you're at a pinch, right?
I think Deputy have something on it as well. They have a thing where it is definitely anonymous and it can say like, I'm feeling stressed.
So they've got a function for it now?
Yeah, but I don't think it's
It's not that good.
as nuanced, like where you can be like, hey, this is happening.
Same as Employment Hero. It's just never going to do what you need. Like when you compare it to something like Office Vibe, which is specifically for that function, it's not going to compare.
Yeah.
But it's still better than nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's not about like, you know, when I talk to people about the merits of that sort of shit, you're talking about like, you know, leaders and owners that are like, yeah, I want to know what's going on and I've got a blind spot. It's impossible to not have one. But actually the best thing about those things is they provide an anonymous place for your people to be heard.
Yeah.
And what that does for your culture is fucking amazing. And if they had that, all the people that have quit would have logged a comment in there and the pattern would be very, very clear.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Do you want me to give you some choices or just read one?
Just read one.
Okay.
You know, let's go saucy.
Do you want to go saucy? Okay.
I know which one you're going to do.
Okay. Hi, PAX crew. I need to vent.
Oh, yeah. me too, damn it.
And I need you to tell me if I'm the problem or if this is actually just the times we live in now. Oh, God. I've been a sous chef for a long time, long enough to remember when "can I please have Friday off" was a polite request that would be unlikely to be granted. Not a Slack message demand with 3 heart emojis and a GIF. Okay, our newest crew member, lovely kid, genuinely good
Underline
knife
kid.
skills.
Yeah.
Underline kid, exclamation mark, bold.
Genuinely good knife skills, asked me last week if the kitchen could workshop a more collaborative relationship with deadlines. And he was talking about mise en place on a Saturday frickin' dinner service.
Yeah.
The effing was, I censored that for the benefit of our younger audiences, but that was capitalised in the ML. Another one referred to getting pulled up for being on his phone mid-service as a bit of a vibe mismatch.
So good.
So I don't reckon I'm one of those back in my day dinosaurs. I know the industry needed to change and badly, but I am one shift away from vibe mismatching someone in the head. When I ask them to pick up the pace and they stare at me blankly, SMH, cheers. SMH is, it could be shake my head. It could be send me help. I'm pretty sure it's not Sydney Morning Herald.
Yeah.
But it's either
He's
of those
definitely
two
not a
work.
dinosaur then if he's using that.
I know. I don't know what that is. I'm the dinosaur.
WTF.
All right, what's your take on this? Where do you guys want to go?
I mean, I would probably feel like bopping them in the head of a vibe check as well. I don't know. Like, I think for me now, it's really different how I deal with things because it's like, how do we get ourselves out of those situations? And like documentation, handbooks, HR, like setting up your foundations is probably the easiest, clearest way to do it because you've got it there. And it's like, hey, we don't have phones on section because what? It's also dangerous. Like kitchens are dangerous places. Like there's hot things, there's sharp things, there's fire, like there's hot oil. Like it's so bad to, you've got to be paying attention. That's for starters. And then from there you can kind of wind back the vibes and that kind of, can I say entitlement?
Yeah.
There is a level of entitlement
Yeah.
coming through, I think, of people. And it's just like setting your tone and expectation and having something to come back to make it easier for those people, particularly someone like middle management sous chef who, you
Stuck in the middle.
is exactly like it's actually a really challenging situation to be in from their side of things because it's like I'm so frustrated having to deal with this because I'm the one having to deal with it.
Yeah.
But like it is a bit of a new world that we live in. And when you talk about like the kids coming through, like they've got phones and laptops and iPads and stuff at school now. So like it's literally a generation of people that you're now having to be like cool. And even like for us, like we use Deputy on our phones. So like you need your phones to work.
I mean, I've been a big campaigner for years around putting your whole ops manual on a Trello board.
Totally.
So people have it on their phone in their pocket.
Yeah.
Like to me, when I hear that my my take on it is definitely puts me at risk of this guy vibe mismatching me in the head.
Yeah.
But I see it as it's not his fault, but it is his problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, the thing is, right, like he's stuck in a mismatch of like outdated policy to a modern era, like what you said.
Yeah.
Like the idea now.
So many businesses.
Yeah. But that idea of like, okay, you're not allowed to have your phone on you during service anymore. Why is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Like, can that just be, hey, yeah, it's fine to have your phone on you. I mean, I've worked with people before where they're trying to encourage their staff to capture content for social media. And it's like, why aren't you on your...
Have your phone on you, but be really good at your job.
Yeah, totally.
Do whatever you want with your phone if you're good at your job.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the main thing.
Yeah.
It's like if it's becoming an issue.
Yeah.
But the policy shouldn't make it an issue before it can become a different issue.
Yeah. And maybe like in the recruitment side of things, like when you're bringing those people into the business, like you say, part of the onboarding process, if they know the lay of the land, you should avoid those situations before they happen. But if a lot of operators who don't have that luxury of like knowing their mission and really good onboarding processes and they're just grabbing whoever the hell they can because they need it, that's where I see this scenario popping up more.
Sure.
And I do think there is like, I mean, I always come back to it as like, hospitality is based on humans. It's based on human interaction. Just be like, hey, we're working. Get off your phone.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're at the point now of being too scared to say things where it's like, hey, that's great.
As your manager, I'm allowed to tell you to get off your phone in the middle of Saturday night dinner service.
Totally.
Well, if you don't, it's the classic thing, right? You got to manage the balance of love and boundaries. Like it's, I'm not going to quote any books, but it's very clear in the literature that if you don't have that balance, if it's all love and no boundaries, really bad culture. And if it's all boundaries, no love, it's a really bad culture.
And what's that? Praise in public, shit can in private? Totally. Is that the saying?
I've never heard that, but...
Yeah, isn't it? Praise in public and reprimand in
private.
Private. Like, don't tell them off in front of everyone.
Yeah,
totally.
Fair.
If they're like, there's a vibe misalignment and they're saying that in front of everyone.
But I think that's different to like maintaining a standard, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone is not following a standard that you've all agreed to, then you have to call it out as a priority to whether it's in private or not. Like sometimes by not calling it out in a public way, you're growing weeds in the garden because people think, oh, you're allowed to get away with that. So it's a bit of a complex thing. But the thing that I think also I pick up on in here where right at the end there when he's saying like I'm asking them to pick up the pace and they're staring at me blankly, sounds like they're behind on mise en place before a busy Saturday service.
Yeah. And then they're on their phone.
And then
that would drive
could be
me
a different
wild.
guy on the phone, who knows? But I just like, at the risk of sounding like I'm just, the ambassador for Gen Z, like, could I just argue this for a bit and be on that side, just devil's avo? Like, if I say that, how do we know that the food program's not just more complicated than it needs to be? Like, could that be a factor here? That, hey, people are struggling to keep up with you, maybe you do need to simplify it without diluting the quality.
And you'd know that through good learning and development stuff. Like if you're doing appraisals or check-ins, like people need, again, that feedback piece. Like they need the opportunity to give feedback if they're going down in a section.
Yeah, like I feel like we grew up in a world where it was work hard at all costs.
Yeah.
And now the world...
visibly.
And visibly. And it was like, you've got to work hard. Sometimes that gets celebrated more than working smart. Yeah. But now we live in a world that is completely the opposite. Yeah. Where it's just like, why would I work hard? The default setting is work smart. Yeah. And you know what? It's the last 10 years of entrepreneurial, influencers on Instagram that are to blame for this, right? And no hate. Like I think working smart is the right way. Like I'm lazy as shit. That's all I ever think about. But in this context, like maybe that is what the new generation just have as a default setting is like, why aren't we just working smart? I know in kitchens it's a really like precarious line, like at what point are you working smart versus diluting the quality? But I think really good chefs know exactly how to not cut corners, but they know how to reduce steps without diluting quality. Like the idea of diluting quality should never be on the table when you're talking about how to make something efficient. Like if it dilutes quality, you don't do it. But I remember working with a really good mate of mine, and one day, before the restaurant was open, and he's like prepping on his own, and he's making this soup, right? It was like this soup that the restaurant was really famous for. And I just see him rip open a bag of like pre-cut mirepoix and dump it in the stock pot. And my first reaction was like, whoa.
You're cheating.
Yeah, like what the hell? Are you for real? And I actually asked the question, and it was like, okay, come here, dickhead. It was like, let me explain to you how this works and what this is and where it ends up and how people are experiencing it. And do you think anyone has got such a fucking perfect palate that they could pick the difference in this minute detail after it's fucking cooked for 12 hours?
I cut the carrots, or that guy cut the carrots.
Like, and I was like, and that was a real moment for me, because I was like, like of course, like that's really smart, But I don't know, fine line.
Well, and we're talking about attitudes. So, like, if you want people to vibe what you're doing and vibe your culture and be proud of what they're doing, so that they don't have an issue with you telling them off for being on their phone, it's like that's on you to create that.
Yeah,
that's on you to have your mission really articulated. On you to be a place that people want to come to work and put their phones away.
I feel like you got a good challenge to my argument there about just simplify your program.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about, hey, can we workshop stuff on a Saturday night service as well? Like, and I think it's very, ultimately there's something that they want to say and you don't want to dismiss that. Now is not the right time.
Yeah.
And you could address all of this and in a conversation after service and be like, hey, absolutely, but you need to pick your time of when we actually do this, because at 6:30 on a Saturday night is probably not the right time to do that.
Totally.
As is the use of your phone.
Yeah. Being clear.
Yeah.
Clear but fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other little hot takes or tidbits for this dude? I'm assuming it's a dude.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Never assume logic prevails either. I was talking to Sean the other day about someone who left the floor at like 6:30 on a Saturday to go have their staff meal and they're getting slammed out the front. It's like, how are you on the planet of hospitality to think that that's a okay thing to do? But yeah, logic never prevails. So
don't assume it.
So write it all down in your handbook.
All right, do you want to do one more?
Yeah.
I know you got to go. Squeeze one more in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I? Okay, hey PAX crew, been listening since season 1. You guys have basically become the podcast I put on during prep every morning. So thank you for that.
Oh, Ledge.
Another chef.
Yeah.
Okay, quick bit of background. I run a neighbourhood bar called Blank. Coming up on 4 years now. It's a genuine local institution at this point. We're busy most nights. The team's been stable for a couple of years, and honestly, the place basically runs itself day to day.
Great.
Win. Here's my problem. A site has come up 2 suburbs over. Great location. Landlord's practically begging me to take it, and every instinct in my body is telling me to go for it. I keep telling myself I've cracked the code with Venue 1, so surely I can just copy the formula. Oh, God. But then I think about how much of Venue 1's success is actually just me. Very astute. I'm there most services. I know every regular by name. I'm the one who smooths things over when it gets rowdy. How do I take the leap? I feel like this is very pertinent for you right now, Hannah.
Did you write this? Did you write this last year?
Yeah. Like you literally just did this and nailed it. So what advice have you got?
I'm only 3 doors down, and if I wasn't only 3 doors down, I think I would be in a very different position.
Really? As opposed to 2 suburbs over?
Yeah.
Or 1 suburb over?
I mean, because I can kind of be
flapping about up and down the street.
Literally. Yeah, walking that pavement. Rain, hail or shine.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a chef.
Front door, back door, whatever. Sometimes I go out the front door, go through Etta, come in the back door.
There was a chef who locked themselves out of Etta last time I was at Daphne, and she came back through the front door, and you were like, "You've locked yourself out again." So good.
Thanks, mate.
Look, a couple of things. If you want to, you need to be like, there's no question mark over whether you want to do it. I think you need to have it in you to be like, I really want to do it. And if you really want to do it, go. But it's going to be harder than what you think, I think. And that's definitely something I have learnt. Going from being the face of something to, like, I strategically did not want to be the face of the next thing because it's impossible to be in two places at once.
Yeah.
So the way I set it up with my leadership team and everything like that, it was people that have worked for me for years. And yeah, it definitely, the copy and paste model, you can do all the same, like, you know, our brand pillars are all the same. Our mission is still the same. All of that kind of.
The DNA.
Is the same, but it can't be the same. Otherwise, I think that is where you'll get the friction.
The blueprint can't be the same.
Yeah, I think that maybe I thought, oh yeah, I can just be there and then be there and then be there and then be there. And yeah, it's impossible to kind of do that. So it needs to be clear. I think you need to, if that's the idea, there needs to be a strategy in place beforehand. And you just really need to really, really, really want to do it.
Yeah.
Because it is going to be harder than what you think it is.
Is there any part of you that thinks you're onto a good thing in that you've got something successful, single site, you may have some time if your leadership team are good?
Yeah.
Like, maybe don't scale? Like, is there any part of you that...
How do you not scale though? Like...
Well, maybe your growth is you have a nice life.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
you spend time with the family, or
Totally.
like, is a second venue always the right move?
Yeah, and I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, I'm 7 months in, and I'm what, a year and a half into a build. So I've been pretty flat chat for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not slowing down yet. Like, if any, I'm at a point where I can manage things a bit more, but you need to give 2 to 3. Be ready for that 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Again. I think I thought, for me, I thought it was going to be a bit easier than it has been, but more in the way that, I've done this before and I know how to do it. And, you know, it's still the first 3 years. It's still going to be the first 3 years like the first time.
Yeah.
So be ready for that.
Yeah.
That's more probably what I would say. And I think there was enough time I was 9 years old, I think, when we opened. Etta was 9 years old when Daphne opened. So I think there was enough time between the first opening to the second one where I was a bit like, oh yeah, actually it's really hard. And obviously it's quite big, but it was a reminder of what those kind of first days are like, first days, first months. And I think you actually being the second venue, and someone asked me last night actually, like, now you've done the second, what do you think about the third? Like, because I think there is a massive jump between the first and the second because you've got to, like, you know, I've spent months tearing apart both of my businesses to rebuild them, to support the amount of people that actually work there now. So you go to a different level, I think, and I would say it's almost like I've started my apprenticeship again.
Yeah.
In a different form of being a business owner.
But then when you think about the third one, because it's 1 to 2 is proportionately the biggest scaling point mathematically, right? Because it's double.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not likely to have 7 venues and then open another 8 overnight, right? Like it's always going to be disproportionate to that level.
Well, I think, and that is where what we do now, it's like the same across 2 in certain things, like in terms of all your HR and blah, 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 all of that kind of back of house infrastructure that is so much more important when you get bigger. But then now you've got that blueprint, you can copy and paste that for the third. So I do think going from 2 to 3, haven't done it, so I can't tell you. Maybe a bit easier. Do I have any plan of doing that? Absolutely not right now. But I mean, I think we're at a time where everybody's saying how bad it is and blah, 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 all of that kind of what you hear. And it is challenging to be in business right now, I think, in any sector, no matter what. So, but I don't want to like tell people don't do it because people told me not to do it. And like, I get it. And like, yeah, open a 120 seat venue in these times. I've just done that. So, and like it works. So I think as long as you're willing to, you're doing it for the right reasons and because you want to do it and you want to push yourself and all of those things, absolutely. Does the idea of a nice life and like, you know, having some time off and enjoying the fact that you've got a pretty solid team and all of that sound lovely? Yes. So ultimately...
I mean, I have to call this out as the business consultant at the table, right? Like a very healthy scaling business and a very healthy lifestyle are not mutually exclusive terms, right? Like you can have both.
Yes.
And there's lots of great evidence of this, right? And so, you know, is it harder to achieve that balance in an industry like hospitality? Yes, I believe so. Is it harder to achieve it in hospitality in a market as fiercely competitive as Melbourne? Even more so.
Yeah.
But are there great examples of people that have done it? Fucking oath.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the mechanics don't change, right? It's just how you implement them.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're an amazing example of this. You know, there's others I can point to. My first question for this dude is, like, I've just got questions that I'd need answered before I could really advise you, right? Like, what's the ownership group like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he on his own or has he got partners? Because if he's got like 2 other partners in the business, I'm like, yeah, you're going to need to open more venues too. Because everyone's got to eat, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if it's one person on his own, right, and I'd be like, okay, well, you're probably making enough profit where you're happy, don't rush into it. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that's the biggest thing.
Totally.
One thing I love about what you did is you really took time to get it right. You didn't just jump, and I'm sure...
I mean, I still don't think I really got it fully right.
Oh, like, get out of here.
Well, no,
Look
but
at
like,
the numbers.
No, I don't mean it like that, but could I have done things differently
Got it.
to make my life a bit easier? Absolutely. But I think that's always,
that'll always be the
hindsight.
case. Yeah. But I think like I'm sure after your first year at Etta, you would have had people coming to you all the time with like, oh, check out this list, let's do this. And instead of jumping at anything, you didn't.
Totally.
Like, nah.
The amount of developers that have knocked on my door, and I just haven't. And I have looked at so many sites that you'll know the right one when it comes to you. But you also need to have a concept in mind, like because 2 suburbs over doesn't sound like I'm 3 doors down from my original business, and it needed to be. I didn't want to cannibalize my first business.
You know the location market.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was I had a really clear idea of what I wanted to do, but also like one really big thing that this person is saying is they're still on the floor most nights of the week.
Yeah,
like
totally.
That to me is almost like a bit of a red flag. Like you need to be at a point where you don't need to be.
Where you're extracted from the business without it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because it will be felt.
Yeah.
That like an owner like that will be felt. And that is kind of like what I had at Etta. So I had like 2 years of like slowly pulling myself off the floor more and more. And, you know, in that time I had it was lovely to not work 5 nights a week and, you know, have a bit of a life. And also to have the brain space to be like, okay, I'm doing this. And really, I would say...
That's the first hurdle.
I wasn't on the floor from probably August of last year.
Right.
Really that much anymore.
Yeah.
Before we opened in November. So I had a couple of months of that beforehand. And wasn't working that much in the business in terms of like, yes, you'd pay everyone and do all the stuff and I was physically there, but I was working on a different project. So And if it's only 2 suburbs over and it's a neighbourhood bar, like people will travel, when
Yeah,
you think about it, like
Yep.
you're only 2 suburbs from me.
True.
And I come to the Pinnacle
Yeah,
for, you know.
True. I mean, it also depends on where you are, though, because you could say, 2 suburbs over from where I am in Eltham is a mission.
Yeah, totally. So it's all, they're just the things that I would be thinking about.
I love where you went with that. I think maybe just to round this out, because we need to wrap this up, is just like, do I take the leap? I think you need to take your time and just like think it through and hit us up, and maybe I can put them in touch with you.
They obviously care a lot.
Yeah.
Like that would probably be like what you got me to do before Daphne opened, of like going on my own little journey. But do you know what I mean? Like there were some things I had to like get comfortable with beforehand.
For sure.
And like all of that kind of coaching and like that executive coaching I did beforehand. Was it worth it? 100%. But did what they said happen to me? Absolutely, it did. Like, all of the things that were like, these are your like areas that you need to be careful about.
Yeah.
And I think was it challenging, obviously, going through it? Yeah, it 100% was, but at least I could address it faster because I was aware of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a personal journey as well as a business journey, because you are about to split yourself, and they obviously care a lot about what they do, and that's probably when it's hard.
Dude, that is the best way to end this episode. Like, it's a personal journey and it's a business journey. And you know what? Yeah, you got to separate them out, but they're also really intertwined.
Totally.
That applies to anyone in any position of hospitality ever. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for doing this. Are you keen to come back and do it again sometime?
Sure.
Great.
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's have a loose one next time.
Yeah, we'll do it at night.
We'll do it in the arvo. We'll have a glass of shardy. It'd be great.
A glass of shardy.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening. We're incredibly grateful to have you along on this journey. As always, there are a few people we need to thank, but first a disclaimer. Malt Donkey have not paid us a cent for the plug that we give them here. We just genuinely love shouting out good people that are making the world a better place. For the crew that do support us more formally, first, a massive shout out to Open Table for their continued support of the show and PAX in general. We also want to thank the team at Poster Boy Media. None of this would be possible without them. So if you ever need anything done on the media side, hit up Ro and the crew. They are always accommodating us, even when we are sending them shit the night before a deadline. Lastly, we want to hear from you. If you have something you'd like to share, a question you want us to unpack, or something you'd like us to cover on the show, hit us up at hello@pax.melbourne. We're also here to help. If you're struggling with something in your business, or you have an idea you're trying to bring to market and aren't sure how to make it happen, head to pax.melbourne and drop us a line. Pax exists to help people enhance their businesses so that they can enrich the communities around them. If that sounds like something you want to connect with, hit us up. Until next time, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.